Bruce Douglas Cockburn OC is a Canadian folk rock guitarist and singer-songwriter. His most recent album was released in March 2011, and his musical career spans over 40 years. He has written songs in styles ranging from folk to jazz-influenced rock to rock and roll. Just as his musical style has varied through the years, his song lyrics have dealt with a broad range of topics. A review of Cockburn's lyrics reveals a passion for human rights, political issues and Christianity over his long musical career. Life and career. Cockburn was born in 1945 in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and spent some of his early years on a farm outside Pembroke, Ontario. He has stated in interviews that his first guitar was one he found around 1959 in his grandmother's attic, which he adorned with golden stars and used to play along to radio hits. Cockburn was a student at Nepean High School, where his 1964 yearbook photo states his desire to become a musician. He attended Berklee School of Music in Boston for 3 semesters in the mid-1960s. In 1966 he joined an Ottawa band called The Children, which lasted for about a year. In the spring of 1967 he joined the final lineup of the Esquires. He moved to Toronto that summer to form the Flying Circus with former Bobby Chris and the Imperials members Marty Fisher and Gordon McBain and ex-Trip member Neil Lilly. The group recorded some material in late 1967 before changing its name to Olivos in the spring of 1968, by which time Lilly had been replaced by Dennis Pendrith from Livingston's Journey. Olivos opened for the Jimi Hendrix Experience and Cream in April 1968. That summer Cockburn broke up the band with the intention of going solo, but he ended up in the band Three's a Crowd with David Whiffen, Colleen Peterson, and Richard Patterson, who had played with him in The Children. Cockburn left this band in the spring of 1969 to pursue a solo career. Cockburn's first solo appearance was at the Mariposa Folk Festival in 1967, and in 1969 he was a headliner. In 1970 he released his self-titled, first solo album. Cockburn's guitar work and songwriting skills won him an enthusiastic following. His early work featured rural and nautical imagery and biblical metaphors. Raised as an agnostic, early in his career he became a Christian. Many of his albums from the 1970s refer to his Christian belief, which in turn informs the concerns for human rights and environmentalism expressed on his 1980s albums. His references to Christianity in his music include the Grail imagery of 20th-century Christian poet Charles Williams and the ideas of theologian Harvey Cox. In 1970 Cockburn became partners with Bernie Finkelstein in the music publishing firm Golden Mountain Music. While Cockburn had been popular in Canada for years, he did not have a big impact in the United States until 1979, with the release of the album Dancing in the Dragon's Jaws. Wondering Where the Lions Are, the first single from that album, reached number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US in June 1980, and earned Cockburn an appearance on NBC's hit TV show Saturday Night Live. Cockburn was married from 1969 to 1980 and has a daughter from that marriage. He wrote the song Little Seahorse, released on In the Falling Dark, in late 1975 about the time when his daughter was in utero. Through the 1980s Cockburn's songwriting became first more urban, more global and then more political. He became heavily involved with progressive causes. His growing political concerns were first hinted at on 3 albums, Humans, Inner City Front and The Trouble with Normal. These concerns became more evident in 1984, with Cockburn's second U.S. radio hit, If I Had a Rocket Launcher from the Stealing Fire album. He had written the song a year earlier, following a visit to Guatemalan refugee camps in Mexico that were attacked before and after his visit by Guatemalan military helicopters. His political activism continues to the present. Cockburn has traveled to many countries, played many benefit concerts, and written many songs on a variety of political subjects ranging from the International Monetary Fund to land mines. His internationalist bent is reflected in the many world music influences in his music, including reggae and Latin music. In 1991 Intrepid Records released Kick at the Darkness, a tribute album to Cockburn whose title comes from a phrase in his song Love Is in a Dangerous Time. It features the Bare Naked Ladies cover of that song. which became their first top 40 hit and was an element in their early success. This lyric was also referenced by U2 in their song God Part 2 from their album Rattle and Hum. In the early 1990s, Cockburn teamed with T-Bone Burnett for 2 albums, Nothing But a Burning Light and Art to the Heart. The latter included a song, Closer to the Light, inspired by the death of songwriter Mark Hurd, who was a close friend of Cockburn and Burnett. Cockburn frequently refers to Hurd as his favorite songwriter and was one of many artists who paid tribute to Hurd on an album and video titled Strong Hand of Love. On the album Cockburn performs the title song. In 1998 Cockburn traveled with filmmaker Robert Lang to Mali, West Africa, where he jammed with Grammy Award-winning blues musician Ali Farka Toure and co-remastered Tamani Diabate. The month-long journey was documented in the one-hour film River of Sand, which won the Regard Canadian Award for Best Documentary at the Vues d'Afrique Film Festival in Montreal. It was also invited for competition at the International Festival of Environmental Films in Paris. Some of Cockburn's previously published material had been collected in several albums, Resume, Mummy Dust, and Waiting for a Miracle. His first greatest hits collection was Anything Anytime Anywhere, Singles 1979–2002, released in 2002. In January 2003 Cockburn finished recording his 21st album, You've Never Seen Everything, which features contributions from Emmylou Harris, Jackson Browne, Sam Phillips, Sarah Harmer, Hugh Marsh, John Omosa, Larry Taylor and Stephen Hodges. Cockburn performed a set at the Live 8 concert in Barrie, Ontario, on July 2, 2005. Speechless, an instrumental compilation of both new and previously released material, was released on October 24, 2005. His 22nd album, Life Short Call Now, was released on July 18, 2006. Canadian Senator and retired General Roma Copyright O'Delaire, who is active in humanitarian fundraising and promoting awareness, appeared on stage at the University of Victoria with Cockburn. The October 4, 2008, concert was held to aid the plight of child soldiers. In 2009 Cockburn travelled to Afghanistan to visit his brother, Captain John Cockburn, and to play a concert for Canadian troops. He performed his 1984 song If I Had a Rocket Launcher, and was temporarily awarded an actual rocket launcher by the military. Cockburn has stated that, while unsure of the original invasion of Afghanistan, he supported Canada's role there. Cockburn released his studio album Small Source of Comfort in 2011. Lois on the Autobahn, a cheerful and experiential instrumental recalling Realizar Boss from Salt, Sun and Time is a tribute to Cockburn's mother, Lois, who succumbed to cancer in 2010. Cockburn married his longtime girlfriend MJ Hannett shortly after the birth of his second daughter, Iona in 2011. As of 2014, the family lives in the San Francisco area, where Cockburn is writing his memoirs up to 2004. A documentary film, Bruce Cockburn Pacing the Cage, was released in 2013 on television and a brief theatrical showing. Directed by Joel Goldberg, gave a rare look into Cockburn's music, life and politics. Soundtracks, Cockburn wrote and performed the theme song for the children's television series Franklin. He composed and performed, with Hugh Marsh, the music for the National Film Board of Canada documentary feature Water Walker, directed by Bill Mason. He also composed 2 songs for the classic English-Canadian film Goin' Down the Road, directed by Donald Shabib. In 1998 Cockburn's song Lord of the Starfields was featured in the Italian movie Radiofrexia, directed by Italian singer-songwriter Luciano Ligabue. In 2007 Cockburn's music was featured in the movie adaptation of Irvine Welsh's best-selling novel Ecstasy, 3 Tales of Chemical Romance. Covers and tributes. Cockburn has had his songs covered by artists as diverse as Bare Naked Ladies, Judy Collins, Jimmy Buffett, Michael Hedges, Laurie Cullen, Anne Murray, Diane Heatherington and Ani DiFranco, The Rankin Family, Dan Fogelberg, Donovan Frankenreiter, Vigilantes of Love, Tom Rush, George Hamilton IV, The Jerry Garcia Band, Holly Near, and K.D. Lang. In addition, fellow Canadian singer-songwriter Steve Bell recorded an entire album of Bruce Cockburn songs titled My Dinner with Bruce, and jazz guitarist Michael ʻkoʊbərn released an album containing jazz arrangements of Cockburn's songs. Awards and honors. Cockburn was made a member of the Order of Canada in 1982 and was promoted to officer in 2002. In 1998, Cockburn received a Governor-General's Performing Arts Award for Lifetime Artistic Achievement, Canada's highest honor in the performing arts. On March 5, 2001, during the 30th Annual Juno Awards ceremony, Cockburn was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. The Cockburn tribute during the awards included taped testimonials from U2's Bono, Jackson Browne, Cowboy Junkies' Margo Timmins, and Midnight Oil's Peter Garrett. The Bare-Naked Ladies performed their version of Cockburn's Lovers in a Dangerous Time. Best Female Artist nominees Jan Arden and Terry Clark performed Wondering Where the Lions Are, and Sarah Harmer performed Waiting for a Miracle. The Canadian Association of Broadcasters honoured Cockburn by inducting him into the Canadian Broadcast Hall of Fame. The induction ceremony was held on October 22, 2002, in Vancouver as part of the Gold Ribbon Awards Gala at the organization's 76th annual convention. On November 27, 2002, the CBC's Life and Times series aired a special feature on Cockburn titled The Life and Times of Bruce Cockburn, produced by Robert Lang of Kensington Communications in Toronto. The cover artwork for his 1999 album Breakfast in New Orleans, Dinner in Timbuktu, which is dominated by bold text in the Helvetica font, was included in the exhibition 50 Years of Helvetica, which ran from April 2007 to March 2008 at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. In 2007 he received 3 honorary doctorates, the 4th, 5th and 6th of his career. In early May he received an honorary doctorate of divinity from Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, and later in the month he received an honorary Doctor of Letters at the Convocation of Memorial University of Newfoundland for his lifelong contributions to Canadian music, culture and social activism. He was then awarded an honorary doctorate from the University of Victoria in Victoria, British Columbia. Cockburn previously received honorary doctorates from York University in Toronto, Berklee College of Music, and St. Thomas University in New Brunswick. He received an honorary doctorate awarded by McMaster University in 2009. His most recent honorary doctorate was awarded by Laurentian University in 2014. Cockburn received the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal in 2012. As of 2013-16 Bruce Cockburn albums have received a Canadian Gold certification. Dancing in the Dragon's Jaws, Stealing Fire and Waiting for a Miracle have also received a Canadian Platinum certification. He has sold nearly 1 million albums in Canada alone. Humans. The discussion group Humans is one of the oldest email lists devoted to a specific artist. The liner notes for Cockburn's album The Charity of Night mentions the group. Equipment. Cockburn has played guitars manufactured by a number of companies and luthiers over the years. Many early photos show him playing guitars made by the Canadian instrument maker La Riva copyright. His request for an acoustic with greater access to higher frets directly led to Jean La Riva copyright's C-series of guitars. These innovative acoustics incorporated a cutaway, a previously rare feature on flat-top acoustics. Cockburn has owned at least 2 guitars made by Toronto luthier David Wren, a student of La Riva copyright, but these guitars were lost in a fire. In recent years, Cockburn has been performing on guitars custom-made by Linda Manza, a Canadian luthier and another of La Riva copyright's proto-copyright GAR Copyright S. Cockburn also plays a Res electric guitar model from the National Guitar Company, and a steel-bodied Dobro resonator guitar. Cockburn has frequently used the early 1990s Black Charvel Servcasters, one tuned standard and the other in drop D tuning. Cockburn has also begun playing a baritone guitar made by Ontario-based luthier Tony Carroll. Discography, studio albums, live albums, compilations, plus all releases contained one or more newly recorded tracks. DVDs, other releases, Ribbon of Darkness, a track on a tribute to Gordon Lightfoot, Strong Hand of Love, a track on the Mark Hurd tribute albums Strong Hand of Love and Orphans of God, Lord of the Starfields, Lovers in a Dangerous Time, and Cry of a Tiny Babe, all on the Best of the Columbia Records Radio Hour, Volume 1, Last Night of the World on the WXPN compilation album, Live at the World Cafe Copyright Volume 9, Chart Singles, Notes, One Going to the Country peaked at number 4 on the RPM Adult Contemporary chart in November 1970. However, at the time, and for the Adult Contemporary chart only, RPM only charted AC songs that qualified as Canadian content. This policy was changed midway through the song's chart run, and all AC records regardless of national origin were eligible for the chart. Under these new criteria, Going to the Country peaked at number 11 in December 1970. The song Fascist Architecture was released to radio under the title I'm OK. It peaked at number 1 on the RPM Adult Contemporary chart in March 1981. However, at the time, and for the Adult Contemporary chart only, RPM once again only charted AC songs that qualified as Canadian content. This short-lived policy was again abandoned later in 1981. See also: Canadian rock, music of Canada, song collections and biographies, All the Diamonds, a collection of early music by Bruce Cockburn. Ottawa Folklore Centre, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, Rumours of Glory, the second volume of Bruce Cockburn's songs. Ottawa Folklore Centre, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, Notes and references. External links: Official website, Bruce Cockburn at AllMusic, Bruce Cockburn at the Internet Movie Database, Bruce Cockburn A View from the Woodpile, True North page, Gavin's Woodpile, the Bruce Cockburn newsletter, The Cockburn Project, documenting the work of Cockburn, video interview on CBC News: The Hour from November 24, 2005. Ernest Brown, pioneer photographer with original soundtrack by Bruce Cockburn.